government is considering nationalising mines and subsequently banks, financial institutions, listed companies, and basically all big business in South Africa. And it is following the campaign of the ANC Youth League, and in response to it, it has commissioned a study into the feasibility, according to the Youth League, the methods by which to nationalise. In response to this, we've published a book on the subject which covers all aspects of it, including international case studies, from which it's clear that always and everywhere nationalisation is a fantastic failure. In Chile, for example, there was a 75% or three-quarter reduction in production after nationalisation. In various African countries, Ghana, 2/3 reduction, Zambia, 75% reduction, and in the DRC, virtually a total abolition of all mining, pretty close to 100% reduction in production. In all countries, there was an increase in inflation, a decrease in unemployment, a decrease in foreign exchange earnings, and everything got worse. So the question is, why on earth would anyone consider nationalising? Look at South Africa, for example. Do we want our mines run the way currently the government runs everything else? SA Airways, SABC, Eskom, where we have power failures and blackouts, we have annual subsidies and losses that are run up in billions of rands every year. And look at what else we have: education, policing, infrastructure, service delivery, job creation. We have basically successful mining and unsuccessful nationalised activities. And then if we say to ourselves, why on earth would the government want to nationalise? It at the moment is getting about 50% of all profits from mining activity, and it's a fantastically benefited shareholder because it has not had to put up a single rand of capital. It shares only in profits, not losses, and it can only be worse off if it nationalises. It would, according to international treaties and conventions which are binding on us and which the government would accept, have to divert literally trillions of rands from other government activities, for example social welfare, housing, education, healthcare, in order to buy shares from rich mine owners. And this would be a diversion of capital and in due course a diversion of revenue year after year after year, as it would try to make up the losses and as its revenue from mining will decline. There is absolutely nothing to recommend it. So the vision for South Africa, if this is taken seriously and ever implemented, is increased unemployment, decreased welfare, decreased government revenue and therefore government services, massively increased inefficiency, and a stagnation and decline of the South African economy as we spiral down into inflation and poverty, reversing the gains that have been achieved since '94, where the government, to its credit, followed a policy of what could be called democratic capitalism, where there was liberalisation, some degree of privatisation, there was economic growth, investment, capital formation, and job creation, and this will all be reversed, and we will tumble back into the stagnation for a full generation that preceded the transition to democracy in South Africa.